Charles Oakley and Buck Williams are as dissimilar as two men can be. Oak, the gruff old urban tough guy with the bright colored suits, and Buck is that North Carolina country boy who grew into a smooth, sophisticated Union leader. But they are two identical hoop twins. They are the barbarians of the gate for the Knicks. And Pat Riley says they are the two best defensive forwards in the game. And Chris Childs says Buck is so strong his fingers have muscles. They are two old guys with a ton of tricks up their sleeves, quite a few of them a little dirty. Vernon, Doc, back to you.
Be very careful about that, calling somebody old, Brian.
Old and dirty, as a matter of fact, especially when you factor in that Buck Williams just got a sportsmanship award that I was on the council of voting for.
And when that was announced, Jeff Van Gundy said to you, what are you doing? Next, you're going to give it to Oakland.
Oak doesn't have to worry about it.
Jack Mees, Dan Crawford, Bob Delaney. Tim Hardaway puts it in his hand. And we are underway, game 4. Mashburn. Alonzo Mourning underneath. Rejected, and here comes New York. Houston, right side, Oakley. Underneath to Larry Johnson. Deshaun Leonard there. Patrick Ewing flips it backward to Allen Houston for 3.
Boy, that's not the guy you want giving an open 3 to start the game out. He is streaky, and if you let him go, he'll kill you.
Here's Leonard. Hand check foul called on Allen Houston.
And this is something Miami wants to do, is try to push the ball up court. They feel they have to get easy buckets to win. If they try to pound it with the Knicks, Pat Riley feels they have no chance.
P.J. Brown inbounds it to Tim Hardaway. Chris Childs just did a masterful job defensively on Hardaway yesterday. Here's Mourning. The double comes from Childs. And that one is off the glass, but Mourning does get the rebound and a jump step. And he's got the first Miami basket.
And it's good to see him so aggressive. But you want him aggressive, you need him on the court at the same time.
He has fouled out of 1 of the 3. He has had 5 fouls in each of the other 2. Johnson spots up, takes the jumper, 5-2. Larry Johnson, the only Knicks starter who's hitting better than 50%, but most of his points have come in the first half of the first 3 games.
Yeah, Jeff Van Gundy said he's just having such a tough time getting his shot off. He's being guarded by taller men in a lot of cases. When you look at P.J. Brown, sometimes switches on him, or Alonzo. He needs him to shoot the ball a little quicker.
Second offensive rebound for Miami, and the first basket of the night for P.J. Brown. Now Giles, shadowed by Hardaway. Johnson, Giles kicks it out to Oakley. Loose ball taken away by Jamal Mashburn. Mourning calls for it. Oakley defends on it. They kick it to P.J. Brown, reverse up and under.
And this is how Miami started game 3 scoring. Open court transition offense. If you look at the guys on the court, and Jeff Van Gundy said it, they have a better team if you look at athletes. We have a better team if you look at skill and if you look at experience.
Allen Houston, second basket. He's got 5 points. Hardaway all the way.
The key, if they can do that for 4 quarters, and that's really tough, especially when you're playing against a team who really does not want to run in the Knicks.
Miami led by as many as 12 in the first quarter yesterday. Penetration and kick it out. Oakley with his second basket, their first basket.
He can make that shot. It doesn't look like he can, but he can.
9-8 Knick lead. Deshaun Leonard, who had 4 3-pointers in the first quarter yesterday. Here's Mashburn. Underneath to Alonzo Mourning for 2.
Well, this is a West Coast game. Right.
Yes. This looks like Phoenix and Utah.
Yeah, they're running up and down, and this is exactly what Miami wants.
Neither of these teams hitting better than 40%. There's a turnover from Chris Childs. Hardaway, alley-oop, P.J. Brown, nice touch, but then Mourning lost it. Here comes New York. Oakley underneath to Larry Johnson for 2.
What a nice pass. Chris Childs looked off the entire defense as they bought it, and he got a guy wide open for a layup. That's a nice look.
6th lead change in the early going. Knicks by 1. Mourning finds P.J. Brown. I'm not sure he was ready for it. Leonard for 3. Another offensive rebound for P.J. Brown. Leonard cuts and makes the basket.
Miami is getting into their offense extremely quick. If they can get into it this quick, they'll be able to score. That's why Jeff Van Gundy is calling a timeout. He's going to tell Chris Childs, we have to slow the ball down on the break.
The 20 has turned into a full timeout with 8:19 to go, opening quarter.
Three-ways, really. You go down to Alonzo, you get it on the transition, or you drive and kick. And that's something Miami has not been able to do in this series, is drive and kick. Guys are not taking the ball to the basket.
There's a huge disparity in three-point shots made and attempted between the two. Miami has tried 67 in the three-game series and made 23. New York, not a three-point shooting team. Matter of fact, they were only 1 of 6 yesterday. Here's Childs. Ewing fights for position. They kick it back out to Oakley. This one in the hands of Jamal Mashburn. Mashburn, guarded by Johnson, loses the ball. Miami leads in turnovers against a New York team that was #1 in turning it over for the regular season in the league.
And Miami's a team that never turns the ball over, so that's a big advantage for New York.
Mashburn misses with the three. That one's out of bounds. Knocked there by Rashawn Leonard.
One of the things I like that Miami is doing is they're not waiting to find Tim Hardaway to bring the ball up the court. Everyone's bringing it up. P.J. Brown's brought it up one. Rashawn Leonard. Mashburn has brought it up the most so far. Riley wants to take some of that workload off of Tim Hardaway, so he'll be rested in the fourth quarter.
Underneath the Ewing. In the lane over P.J. Brown. Patrick among those hitting less than 40% in the series. He had an outstanding game yesterday, though, with 25, and P.J. Brown not ready for the Hardaway pass.
Yeah, if you're shooting 40% in this series, you're the best shooter in the league. That's right. That's a good percentage in this league.
Allen Houston touched by Rashawn Leonard and then touched last by Houston.
Yeah, that's really nice defense. Allen Houston never saw him coming. Rashawn Leonard, great effort. Riley counts that as a contest, and he has little stats on everything, and that's one of his big ones, putting a hand in the face.
Hardaway gets the screen from P.J. Brown. Over to Mashburn. Good morning. Battles Oakley for position. Travel.
And that was caused by Charles Oakley. Alonzo Mourning caught the ball almost out by the three-point line. Take a look here where Alonzo's at. He wants to catch that ball in the paint. That far away, it's a travel. That's a close travel because I don't know if I saw it.
I didn't either. 4 turnovers early going for Miami. That counteracts the rebounding edge they've enjoyed thus far. Here's Houston. Doubled on the baseline. Skip pass over to Larry Johnson. That's for 3.
Yeah, that's big. He's not a great three-point shooter, but he's capable and he's willing to take the shot.
That's Johnson's first three-pointer of the series, as a matter of fact. Tipped out, saved by Mourning, another offensive board for Miami. 14-12, Knicks on top by 2. Mourning, this time Ewing has him defensively. Will he jump hook? No. Ewing gets it. Kicks it to Childs. Johnson is down court. Larry Johnson. Spin move. P.J. Brown. Miami will force it again. That's 3 rebounds for P.J. Brown. Mourning. I don't think he wanted that.
No, he didn't. He wanted the first one, didn't take it. It's really tough to take that second shot when you should have taken the first one. It's too late.
Illegal defense. That's the first of the night called. So the warning, and New York will take it out of bounds on the sideline. Miami having a good time on the offensive board so far.
And that's what the Knicks have dominated in. Yesterday in the game, in the fourth quarter, Miami took over on the offensive boards, and obviously they figured something out, and they're continuing to do it. What they're doing is causing double teams, and they got guys away from the basket.
Houston, nope. Rashawn Leonard, good job defensively on Allen Houston there. Right side, Hardaway. Off the dribble, wow.
Well, they are beating the Knicks up the court, and that's what they can do. They're faster. Rashawn Leonard, that was a great job because he hit Allen Houston on the hand.
We talked about back-to-back, Doc. Here's Childs kicking it back for Larry Johnson. Now Ewing. Goes to his right, gets the jump in the lane.
You know, we talk about back-to-backs and how it will affect guys. Patrick Ewing's numbers are exactly the same in back-to-backs during the season. So you'd think they would affect him, but they really have not.
Miami has had an extraordinary record in back-to-backs, the second game of back-to-backs this year. They've won 16 and lost only 3, and they are 12-1 on the road. Now, they're the best road team in the league this year. The interesting thing is they haven't won on the road in the playoffs.
Well, I think Miami beats a lot of teams because they play with more intensity, they play harder. In the regular season, you get away with that. In the playoffs, everyone plays with intensity, so that kind of evens the odds.
Mashburn. Got it.
Got it, and they need it. They need him to step up. Either him or Dan Marley have to score some points for Miami to win this playoff series.
Man, Mashburn's been on the back of a milk carton for much of the series. Mourning with a rebound. Hardaway, B.J. Brown hurries up. High pick and roll underneath the P.J. Brown.
I would say the difference right now from game 3 and tonight is that Chris Childs was not picking up Tim Hardaway full court. Tim Hardaway is getting them into their offense quick. Knicks don't have time to set their defense. Miami is scoring easy buckets.
Baseline, Johnson. Larry Johnson off to a quick start. He's 4 of 6. We're tied at 18 with 3:40 to go in the opening quarter. Underneath of Mashburn. Johnson with the foul, and Mashburn will go to the free throw line.
We talked in the opening about how important transition is. Take a look here. Beating everyone down the court. You don't see Patrick Ewing until the very end. Here it goes again, getting into their offense early. Tim Hardaway is able to create. You get an easy dunk, and that's what the Heat won.
And you see that 4-to-3 assist-to-turnover ratio.
Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. If you look at the field goal percentage, 26% in the 2 losses against Orlando in game 3 versus the Knicks, 27%. And basically both teams did the same. Darryl Armstrong with Orlando put a ton of pressure on Tim Hardaway, and Chris Childs did it again yesterday. They believe, and so do we, and so does Pat Riley and Jeff Van Gundy and everyone else. Tim Hardaway is carrying a big workload right now for the Heat, but the Heat understand that that's all they can do. They have to do it.
John Starks makes his first appearance in the game. He has had a woeful series offensively, but he really chimed in and played a big game defensively yesterday.
Yeah, I think yesterday was the first game he made a contribution to the Knicks. Now, but Jeff Van Gundy said, if you look at us, we're up 2-1, and our lightning rod has not done anything. He's been the exact opposite of one, and we're still up 2-1, so that bodes well for us. He said the problem is you don't know what John's going to do from day to day, from minute to minute. He can give you something. He cannot. You never know. He said he just is going to play him and see.
Mashburn gets 1 of 2 at the free throw line. That continues a bad trend for Miami, 50% at the line. Here Starks for 3. Oh! Loose ball foul. It'll go against Miami. P.J. Brown, his first. Team first.
And we're talking about free throws. In every game, free throws have basically decided the series. Miami has an advantage on making threes. The Knicks have a huge advantage in making free throws.
Knicks have been to the line 30 times, and more impressively, they've made 25. That's on an average per game. Here comes Mashburn at the other end. 3:10 to go in the first quarter of play.
Boy, Chris Childs just missed Patrick Ewing wide open up underneath. He has great position, Patrick Ewing did.
Johnson guards Mashburn. Rashawn Leonard. Nope. Here comes John Starks. Underneath to Larry Johnson. Back to Ewing. And to Johnson. Now they clear it out. Ewing over P.J. Brown.
Nice cut to the basket by Patrick Ewing, making someone pick him up.
Ewing 2 of 3. And the Knicks back on top by 1. Back at Hardaway's hands. Here's the pick and roll with Alonzo Mourning. P.J. Brown moves it left side. Now the entry pass, and Mourning with a jumper in and out. Ewing rebound. That's his second. Knicks by 1 in game 4. Childs, mismatch. Johnson for 3. Rashawn Leonard for Miami. At the other end, here's Mourning. Beautiful pass. No foul call.
Kind of nonchalant at that one.
He sure was.
That's probably why the ref didn't give him the call.
The younger guys would say he did not do that with authority. Let's check in with Brian Burwell.
Vern, it seems as though Pat Riley is making a very strong effort to involve everybody in the offense early. You saw them run some plays for Rashawn Leonard early. Then they went to Jamal Mashburn. Now they're going to work it to Alonzo Mourning. Back to you at the desk.
Well, Mourning off to a tough start, 2 for 10.
Yeah, but I like him being aggressive, and he's aggressive without picking up fouls. They need him to be that way. Even when he misses shots, he still calls a lot of attention.
Mourning with a miss, or Ewing rather, and here comes Miami. Rashawn Leonard. Skip pass to Mashburn. Johnson has it. Mourning tries to establish position. Here's Mashburn. Finds the cutter. Touch pass P.J. Brown. And Alonzo Mourning is going to go to the free throw line.
Now you know he's not going to get a layup. They're going to make sure he goes to the free throw line the way he's shooting free throws.
The field goal attempts distributed evenly with the exception of Alonzo Mourning, and Patrick Ewing will get a rest now.
Well, that's a good job. When you look at Tim Hardaway, only 2, you know he's going to take care of himself at some point. He's the point guard who can shoot whenever he wants to. It's nice seeing other guys getting involved.
Non-shooting foul a moment ago. Hardaway. Yes, that's for 3.
Boy, when he lifts up, the entire crowd starts moaning. They're so scared of Tim Hardaway in New York City. He's taken on a Michael Jordan-ish type of persona.
What a game he had in game 2 with that 13-point explosion in the last few minutes of the second quarter. Here's another New York turnover. That's their 4th. Ike Austin making his first appearance on the floor will give Alonzo Mourning a blow now.
And it'll be interesting from this point on to see how the Heat will try to score baskets. Alonzo Mourning, that's one adjustment Pat Riley made, is he used him only to set picks because he knows Alonzo can make that open jumper. The Knicks have been leaving the picker wide open.
Saw the note. Game 2 coming up. There's a near turnover by Rashawn Leonard. Utah and the Lakers from Salt Lake City after our game. Austin, nice strong move. No basket, however, it was too strong.
Well, it was, but that was a great flop by Charles Oakley. Now, Charles Oakley does not mind taking hits, but on this one, I don't know if he was ever touched. That's pretty good by Charles Oakley.
2-point Heat lead. Final 20 seconds, first quarter. On the shot clock. Here's Starks, kicks it back for Johnson. Thinks about the 3 and passes on it. Starks won't wait.
Boy, that's the type of shot you want when you're struggling, the shot that you just have to take anyway.
Oh, boy. How about the first 12 minutes? 11 lead changes. Larry Johnson, who has played well in the first halves of games thus far in this series, has 9 to lead New York.
Bruisers on the New York side, you want to beat them down the court. So what Miami is doing, and even in their transition sets, they're pushing the ball up court, getting into their offense quickly. They're not allowing the Knicks to set that strong defense. And if you get Tim Hardaway and Mashburn and guys like that in the open court, you have a great shot of scoring quick buckets.
Larry Johnson with a quick start. John Crotty has come on to join the Miami Heat, and he picks up Chris Childs. Starks with that big 3-pointer to give the Knicks the lead. Here's Johnson for 3 again. Nope. Oakley has it, gets it to Buck Williams. He kicks it out to Chris Childs, and Crotty guards him.
I think Oakley and P.J. Brown have been the 2 unsung heroes in this series so far. I think they are the 2 guys who set the tempo for both teams.
Shot clock at 5. First time we've had to mention the shot clock. Childs, no. Tip, Mike Austin has it for Miami.
Yeah, that's not a good sign when you dribble for 20 seconds and then take a shot. The Knicks never got into their offense.
John Quaddy, spark plug in game 2, the Miami victory. He's guarded by Starks. Now Mashburn. Illegal defense, that's the first call against New York. Thus the warning, and we check in with Brian Burwell.
Well, Vern, that was a good sign for the Knicks when John Starks came off the bench and hit that first shot, because that's now what they're going to try to do. They're going to run as many plays as they can to get John started, because you know how he can be. He's either hot or cold, and he gets frustrated, so they want to get him going early. Back to you at the desk.
The New York guards, saw the graphic on them. Chris Childs now sits with 6 assists, and Charlie Ward takes his place. Jamal Mashburn off the feed from Quaddy. Foul called on Larry Johnson.
Wow, that looked like fantastic defense. I think he must have hit him on the arm, but that was great defense by Larry Johnson. And this is one of the most underrated things about Larry Johnson. Jeff Van Gundy says on the ball with bigger guys, he's the best defender we have, and that looked pretty clean to me.
Oh, it did. Mashburn goes to the free throw line. Crowd is reacting to the replay here at Madison Square Garden. Allen Houston will replace Larry Johnson. Johnson 9 points on 4 of 7 in the early going. Mashburn gets 2 free throws, and the Heat are back up by 1. Ward and Quaddy. Starks got loose and the pass wasn't there.
Yeah, the pass from quarterback Charlie Ward was a little high. John Starks couldn't bring it in.
Keith Askins, who did not play in yesterday's game, is on the floor now, replacing P.J. Brown. The turnover's even at 5.
And that's a reaction from Jeff Van Gundy putting in Allen Houston at the small forward spot. Keith Askins is coming in to guard Allen Houston.
Pick and roll, Mashburn open. Oakley has him. Buck Williams fronts like Austin, and then Austin puts it off the glass and out of bounds.
Well, they get there so quickly. I mean, that was a great lob pass. You think Ike Austin has a shot, someone's there, another guy comes, Charles Oakley, to block the shot.
10:20 to go in the first half of play. Heat by 1. Hardaway, no. Oakley battles for it. It's on the floor. Charlie Ward. And Keith Askins is calling for the foul.
So Jeff Van Gundy was telling us about Charlie Ward. He says sometimes you don't know he's out there. Then you look in the stat sheet, he has 6 steals, and he causes turnovers from the other team. He does all the little things. He's quiet on the court, and that's his nature anyway. He's a quiet guy.
Well, you were noting that yesterday in Game 3, he played 20 minutes, and it was almost like he never got in the game.
Never knew he played, and then Jeff says, boy, he made a big contribution to us. And that is the ultimate bailout call. Buck Williams had no shot of this one going in.
Ewing and Mourning. The Georgetown Stars sit for a moment.
And make the shot for Miami, or Miami will have to make an adjustment.
Not as many pick and rolls early on as we might have thought.
No, not yet, but you'll see them. The game will slow down. This is the same thing that's happened in game 1, 2, and 3, and it's happening again in game 4. Miami gets out, they're running. What Pat Riley wants to do is do this for 4 quarters. You know at some point the Knicks will slow this game down. When the game slows, it either goes to the post for Miami, ISOs for Tim Hardaway, or pick and rolls. And Pat Riley told us today, we are a pick and roll basketball team. It is an important part of our offense. If that does not work, we do not win.
Buck Williams, whose strong point is not 15 feet away from the basket.
No, it's amazing because he has a little nice touch when guys are in his face. You put him on that line when there's no one around, the tough guy gets scared and he can't make the free throws anymore.
1 of 2 and a sigh of relief from Buck Williams, who's kind of smiling as he backs down court.
He's as surprised as anybody that it went in.
Mourning is back on the floor for Miami. We're tied at 24. Ewing is getting ready to make a reappearance, and that one, Oakley fouled by Alonzo Mourning.
And fouled hard.
Yes.
The bad part is he was still down on the floor, so they get to take it out of bounds. You can see the Knicks are doing a lot of fronting, the same thing Miami does. and Oak fouls hard. He does that so he can't get the ball up, and there's no way that he can get the ball up and score 2 points.
Oakley picks up his first foul, and he gets a spot on the bench now as Buck Williams and Patrick Ewing are on the floor simultaneously. Here's John Crotty. Dishes right side to Deshaun Leonard. Ewing comes to help out. Crotty penetrates, kicks it back outside. Ike Austin takes that tough jumper. No.
And they're going to give him that. And he's going to have to make it. Him and P.J. Brown, they're going to give shots to all night long.
Charlie Ward, Patrick Ewing, guarded by Austin.
Boy, that was sensational defense by Ike Austin. Patrick just had better offense on that one. That's why Patrick's a great player. He can make those shots.
6 points for Ewing in the early going, and a 2-point Knick lead. Austin looks inside for Alonzo Mourning. Buck Williams doing the offensive work on him for the moment. Back to Leonard for 3. Off the mark. John Starks got a face in a hand in his face. And New York with a rebound. Allen Houston. Haskins. Houston takes him. Oh, what a defensive job by Mourning.
Well, that's not the guy you want to take the ball to, is Alonzo Mourning. That's his specialty.
Mourning off the dribble and the feed from Crotty underneath and puts it in.
He is being so aggressive. I talked to him on the phone today. He said, Doc, I'm going to do it all game. I'm going to put pressure on Patrick and the rest of the guys.
Well, and he used one of Riley's key words, resolve.
And they're showing it right now.
Ewing.
So is
nice, strong move.
So is he.
Ewing has 8. Mourning has 6 in the early going. And it's a 2-point New York lead under 8 to go and a half. P.J. Brown getting ready to come back in for Miami. They got Charlie Ward with a hand check. Austin Mourning.
Man, you look at this. This is great defense by Ike Austin. Keeps him in front of him, bodies him up, makes him take a tough shot. He still makes it. What can you do? Now here you go one more time. Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning help. There's nothing you can do when a guy's making shots like that.
Mourning. Williams head up. Now the double comes to Charlie Ward. That leaves Crotty open for 3. No. And New York will run. Allen Houston right side to Starks. Oh boy.
And never had the ball in his hand. So if he's starting to make those, that is not good for the Heat. That's exactly why Pat Riley called a timeout. The same thing he did in game 1 and 2 when Allen Houston started going off. You can watch here Allen Houston driving the basketball, taking it to the wrong guy. Alonzo Mourning blocking the shot.
Fine defensive effort.
Yeah, it was great on both parts. You know, no one out-defended the other one. It was great, and the Knicks ended up winning by a block shot, a defensive play.
Mashburn in the post, goes over Houston and rattles it home.
Boy, if they're going to allow Mashburn to back Allen Houston down that low without giving him help, that should be Miami's play until the series is over with.
I think they might go back.
Yes, they should.
Screen is set for Starks. Deshaun Leonard picks him up. Starks kicks it to Charlie Ward. And a Miami rebound at the other end. Here's Mourning running too far.
And they look for that every single time. Alonzo Mourning, he's bobbled at least 3 out of bounds already, but that is something they can get. Alonzo Mourning can outrun Patrick Ewing in the open court.
May have seen Mourning point his finger to the sky, telling Hardaway to loft it a little more.
And Hardaway is saying, catch it. Just catch the ball.
Houston, oh my!
Wow. You know what Allen Houston is saying? Now, you're going to back me down, but I'm going to take you away from the basket and you guard me. And here it goes, and Patrick goes and doubles right away.
Mashburn. Ewing with a rebound. Knicks lead by 5. Starks, 2 more.
Now the Knicks are running. And so you got 2 guys right now, Allen Houston at the 3 and John Starks at the 2, who are more athletic than Mashburn and Deshaun Leonard.
Foul is called on Charlie Ward. Hardaway decides to take a chance. case he gets a lucky call.
Yeah, look at Allen Houston out here. Now, Mashburn away from the basket guarding Allen Houston. That's advantage Allen Houston. And this transition basket, it was really caused by Allen Houston. Everybody saw Allen Houston. They ran out. Stark sneaks in, gets an easy shot.
P.J. Brown on the feed from Hardaway. The tip. Charlie Ward has it. Looks up court. Allen Houston. Got it! Wow. They're all smiling.
I mean, look at Allen Houston run the court. We talk about his shooting, but this guy is athletic. I mean, that's a bump, keeping your balance and making the shot. Right now, you got John Starks on fire and Allen Houston, and they're both on the court at the same time. I don't know how you defend that.
Three-point play for Allen Houston and a 10-point New York lead. So the tables have been turned. It was Miami up by 12 in yesterday's third game. New York survived the run and came back and won it. Now Hardaway. Mourning. And P.J. Brown will go to the free throw line.
And that was all calls by Tim Hardaway, being relentless, driving, making someone pick him up, and kicking the ball.
Brown shoots two.
It seems like every time in this series, the first coach who goes small gets a quick advantage. Jeff Van Gundy decided to go small first by putting Allen Houston at the small forward position, and he has the advantage in the score.
Brown shoots one more. Van Gundy watches. .504 to go in the first half. 38-29. Starks. He's been looking for his shot for 3 games. Pat Riley knows he's found it.
And he has caused the Heat to take 2 timeouts just because he's making shots. I mean, he's a lightning rod for this team. When John Starks starts making shots and driving to the basket and creating offense for himself and others, that's a good sign for the Knicks.
He's made his last 4 shots. And among those who are most appreciative, Trevor Gretzky and his dad, Wayne.
Well, I think the New York fans are more appreciative to Wayne because he's been great for the Rangers.
Rangers won yesterday, of course, to defeat the Devils, and they take on Philadelphia in the semifinals.
And won't that be a series?
Oh, man. I got to get a pop in for my Avalanche here.
My only advice, don't be in the crowd.
That's right.
New York and Philadelphia fans don't get along.
Well, Colorado-Detroit might draw a little attention, too.
Yes.
Rebounds in the quarter. New York 8-3 edge. P.J. Brown, Hardaway, Mourning, Mashburn, and Deshaun Leonard. Foul is going to be called on Patrick Ewing. That's his first.
And those are the fouls you don't want your center to get. Reaching fouls on a guard away from the basket. You want your center to use all your fouls on another big guy. You know what Jeff Van Gundy has on everyone's shirt. Make them feel you.
Yeah, they all came out for the little practice about 2 hours before the game. Everybody from the Knicks wearing a T-shirt, the back of which said, "Make them feel you."
That should be the title for this series.
Point game. Buck Williams, Charlie Ward, Ewing, John Starks, and Allen Houston. Ward gets it in the hands of Starks. Foul on Mashburn as Houston blows by him.
It's amazing watching Allen Houston. I was talking to him yesterday, and he says they have 2 options. Either they're going to foul me or I'm going to score. He said, that's it. You love to see a guy with that much confidence. That's something he hasn't had all year.
Underneath Starks. Oh, gosh.
You don't know how athletic that move was. I mean, that was a sensational move by John Starks.
Starks has 11. They front Mourning, loose ball. Jump ball. Watch the move from John Starks underneath the basket.
More importantly, watch the catch and the pivot at the same time. I mean, that is incredible to be able to do that. Very few people can do that. Dancers are usually the ones who can do it.
Well, Chris Giles with no points, but he does have 6 assists tonight. And Houston and Starks combined for 22.
And look what they're shooting. You know, they've missed 3 shots between them.
All right, here we go.
4:09 to go.
If my Marquette math is correct.
Absolutely. Glad to see you put that degree to use.
Yes.
Without a calculator on that. 42-31. Nope. Off Alonzo Mourning, New York ball.
I know you can pick it up and you can hear it on TV, the groans and the grunts and the hits. I mean, this is a really physical game.
Expected to be, and has lived up to its promise. Now Houston guarded by Mashburn. 3:45 to go in the half.
There it goes again. I mean, he told you, you have 2 options. That's one of them. I mean, look at this. He's so quick. And the reason he gets away with this because you have to honor his shot. So you have to guard him so closely.
3 fouls on Mashburn. That's going to bring Willie Anderson into the lineup for the first time in the series.
Great substitution. We've been waiting for this all series. Willie Anderson is a terrific defensive player. The problem is now, and I, who was somewhat of a defender, you hate guarding somebody who's already on fire.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
Exactly.
Haven't played in a month. Didn't expect to play tonight. Now I've got Allen Houston. Okay.
Who's burning up right now.
Right. That's why I hesitated when I looked over and saw Willie Anderson get off the bench. He has been really inactive. Here's his pass underneath, and the turnover to the Starks. 13-point New York lead. Anderson with a hard foul.
Well, that's one thing that Willie can do. At least he can foul him hard. And you know, coaches do that at times. They say, hey, listen, the guy's on fire. Go in and make him feel you right now. And that's what Willie Anderson just did.
Allen Houston back at the free throw line.
Now check this pass out by John Starks. You think he's not feeling good right now? I mean, that's a great pass. That might be even a better catch because it hit the guy's leg and he's feeling hard.
Have a certain air of confidence to even attempt it.
Yeah, it does. And what that is John Starks. You love him and you hate him. Right now, you love him.
John Crotty, P.J. Brown, Hardaway, Willie Anderson, and Mourning. A 15-point New York lead. As Allen Houston and John Starks have ignited this New York offense and this crowd.
And the fact that they have 46 points already, they only scored 77 and won yesterday. They have 46 right now with 3:13 left in the first half.
Mourning back at the free throw line. Man, we've got some perspiration on the floor that will require some attention.
It's amazing when you come in with a game plan, and we're talking Miami, to push it up, and it works against you. And that's what's happened. New York is out and running right now, and New York is controlling the board.
Miami, held with only 1 field goal in the last 6 minutes of yesterday's game, has hit a drought again. They haven't scored a field goal in nearly 5 minutes. Charles Oakley comes on with a huge grin. I'm not sure what he was smiling about.
You never know what Charles Oakley was smiling about. I think Buck Williams, again, it doesn't show up, but he just did a fantastic job guarding Alonzo Mourning.
Well, Pat Riley told us this morning he thinks Buck Williams was the free agent acquisition of the year in the league. He said, I'm glad we got P.J. Brown, but Williams is the perfect fit for New York. Ewing. Foul is on Mourning, his first. 2:59 remaining in the first half. New York is surging.
Go with the WNBA.
I'm very excited to be a part of the WNBA because I feel like it has the opportunity to put the women's game on a national level, and it's really exciting to be a part of that kind of growth.
All right, now you guys have both been watching this game. What do you think about the heavy hitting inside?
Ooh, I'm impressed. I can't believe they're letting them play like that. I'm just wondering if we'll get to do the same thing.
All right, ladies, thanks a lot. Back to you, Vern.
All right, Brian, and Kim Hampton did a wonderful job singing the national anthem.
Yeah, she can do more than just play basketball. She can really sing.
16-point lead here, 2:38 to go in the half. Charlie Ward, followed by Crotty. Starks in Houston, and did the ignition for the Knicks. Underneath, beauty.
Wow.
And Oakley can't hit the layup.
That was a nice pass.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Here comes Crotty. Willie Anderson. Anderson. Ewing rejects it.
See, this is really tough for Willie Anderson, or any player. Willie Anderson's the type of guy, he can score baskets. I think most people have looked at him in his career as a finesse player who can score, but he is really a solid defensive player also. That's the reason he's on the Miami Heat, is because of his defense, not his offense. But for him to score now would be really tough after sitting this long.
Had some wonderful years in San Antonio, but he's had a career plagued by injuries, and has it turned over there.
And that's his second turnover since being in the game. But Allen Houston has not scored since he's been in the game. So Riley is getting out of him what he wants.
Hardaway, nifty move. Oh, what a dandy move that was. 47-33. Watch Hardaway's drive.
I mean, you're talking about putting pressure on the defense. I mean, that's called pressure. Offensive pressure.
Crotty picks up Charlie Ward. Mourning guards Oakley. And here comes John Starks, shadowed by Hardaway. Mourning comes to help, and that leaves Oakley open.
And that's more like it. Charles Oakley would much rather shoot a 15-foot jump shot than try to make a layup. He can't jump over him under paper, so he needs those jump shots.
Boy, he'd have a terrific time with the Sunday Times, huh?
Yes.
Illegal defense. That is the second of the night called against New York. Coming up on the Nike halftime report, P.J. Carlesimo joins Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. A look ahead at the Laker Jazz series and Larry Bird and his first press conference. Well, the free throw problems continue for Miami. 6 of 11 tonight.
That might be the first coach hiring I've ever seen where the coach wasn't there talking. Finally, he shows.
Right. So all those reports on Larry Bird, and there were no sound bites. Mourning is fouled by Oakley. Well, Pat Riley, great respect for Ewing, Starks, and Oakley, and look at the contributions they've made tonight.
And it's funny how aware that the entire Heat team is now of Charles Oakley. I'm talking to Alonzo again on the phone today, and that's all he talked about was Charles Oakley. Tim Hardaway said the same thing. We have to find a way or a guy or a collective effort to slow Charles Oakley down from doing all the little things he's doing to keep the Knicks into these ball games.
Oakley brought his lunch pail yesterday. Loose ball foul called on Allen Houston. Second foul on Houston.
If it wasn't for offensive boards, this would be a blowout. Miami is staying in the game on the offensive boards right now.
Boy, this has not been a bad free throw shooting team until they got into the playoffs.
You know it's contagious, though, and it started with Alonzo Mourning. He starts struggling, and I'm telling you, it's contagious. The best free throw shooter can come out, and that's, you can see it. It's all in everybody's mind, because that's all the papers are talking about now.
And us.
Yes. But that's our job.
Don't forget the chatterboxes. You're amongst us now.
Yes, I am.
Final minute first half. Second quarter has been owned by the Knicks. Ward starts off the dribble. Offensive foul.
Willie Anderson in the right spot.
Foul is called on John Starks. 15-point deficit looking at Miami. Game 5 in Miami on Wednesday night. Game 6, if necessary, back here on Friday night.
You know, you look at subtle differences since Willie Anderson has come in the game. Allen Houston has not scored.
Anderson off the dribble underneath and a foul call. Ewing. Or Oakley, who we got it?
Now he's thinking, Willie Anderson, now it's my turn to go to the free throw line. You know what Oakley was saying? He was saying, listen, he had no shot at making that. He was up under the basket. He wanted to pass. You shouldn't bail a guy out.
And the foul is on Ewing. Willie Anderson, whoa, boy. Jeff Van Gundy wants a 22nd timeout. Well, second game of our doubleheader from Salt Lake City tonight. I don't know about you, but I'm talking about comebacks, Doc. Karl Malone goes 2 for 20 in one game, and then there was the next one.
But you know what I loved about it? Karl Malone, he shoots 2 for 20, no excuses.
Right.
I went 2 for 20. I had shots that I wanted, and I just missed them. And you like that, and that's what the veteran. It's no coincidence that if you look at the series right now, the veteran teams are winning. The Knicks, an older team against Miami. Chicago, an older team over Atlanta. The Utah Jazz, the Houston Rockets, both the same. I don't think that's a coincidence.
You're telling me that you kind of like Utah in game 5 tonight?
I like them in a series now. I'm on the Utah bandwagon.
Oh, I've been preaching to you all year long. And at last I'm preaching to the choir.
Yes, you are. Boy, you know, that series surprised me. I did like Utah because they have a great transition offensive team. The Lakers are a poor transition defensive team because they're so big. And I think Utah has totally taken advantage of that in the series.
Here in Madison Square Garden, Willie Anderson shoots his second free throw as Miami tries to crawl back in this one. He gets both, and they are down by 13 with 31.2 left in the first half of play.
Pat Riley might have found a player that can help him out, and not only the defensive end, but the offensive end as well, with Willie Anderson.
10 on the shot clock. Roddy stays for Charlie Ward, and a foul is called on P.J. Brown.
And you knew that was coming. It was a foul the entire play. Jeff Van Gundy was talking about the way the games have been reffed. He said this is so physical that if the refs called every foul, the game would never end. It would be a foul every second. And so they're picking and choosing when to call the fouls.
Rashawn Leonard is back on the floor for Miami, replacing P.J. Brown.
And it's amazing that Patrick Ewing can make a free throw. If you look at his technique, he pauses at the top.
Right.
He steps backwards when he's shooting them, and yet he makes them. It's really unbelievable. I mean, watch this pause right at the top here. That's just remarkable. That's what a great example. You can practice something bad enough, and it becomes good.
Final 7 seconds, first half. Knicks were up by 1 at the end of the first. Here's Willie Anderson off the dribble. Kicks it to Crotty in the corner. No. Allen Houston, big second quarter. New York Knicks, bigger second quarter. They go from a 1-point edge to a 15-point lead. We played half of game 4.
Time. They got the ball down low very quickly, and they fumbled the ball out of bounds. Alonzo did that at least 3 times, and they didn't convert. They have to convert on those.
Big surprise, Dan Marley yet to get off the bench in this game.
Yeah, I think his back is bothering him more than he's letting on. He's not going to tell anybody, so Pat Riley's going to have to make the decision not to play him.
Alonzo Mourning gets the first turnover of the second half. Here's Hardaway off the dribble. Mourning fights for the rebound on the floor, and Oakley saves it. 5 rebounds for Charles Oakley. Chris Childs underneath to Larry Johnson, not quite ready for it. Second New York turnover. Riley telling Mourning, get going, hurry.
Yeah, he wants him to beat Patrick down the court, and it allows Tim Hardaway to roam because Patrick's trying to catch Alonzo instead of playing D.
Illegal defense called against New York, 3rd time tonight, so we'll go to the free throw line. Alonzo Mourning very slow getting down court a moment ago.
Yeah, this is not what you want. You want him to get down court quickly, because now you see Patrick Ewing running down court. He can pay a lot of attention to Tim Hardaway until Alonzo gets there. If Alonzo gets down, Tim can roam.
Tim Hardaway will shoot the technical foul. Look at this drought. 16 minutes and 25 seconds. Now, for shooting, great defense.
Combination. I think a lot of times the great defense comes first, frustrates you, and then you start missing shots that are open.
Hardaway converts the technical.
And I think the Knicks have done a great job in picking who is doing the shooting for Miami. They're really paying a lot of attention to Tim Hardaway, and they're making other guys like Deshaun Leonard and P.J. Brown make shots.
Good defense by Ewing on P.J. Brown, and a jump ball.
Now, what Charles Oakley just did was P.J. Brown had that ball in his hand. Charles Oakley just decided he wanted it more. Let me just take a look at this. The ball is right in P.J. Brown, right after the block shot. Now, I want you to look at the floor. P.J. has the ball. Charles Oakley just takes it from him. I mean, that's Charles Oakley type of play right there.
9 years in New York. Oakley with that yeoman-like game in Game 3 yesterday afternoon, and then decided he didn't want to talk to the local media.
Yeah, he said, you guys haven't talked to me all year. I'm not talking to you now.
So Charles took a few shots from the printing press this morning.
They were not happy with him. No. I think it's pretty funny. As long as he keeps talking to us, Bird, I'm happy.
You have a warped perspective on things, Doctor. Foul is on Childs, his second. Hardaway. Deshaun Leonard. Oh, they need that big time.
Boy, they really do. And not only that, the fact that he's going to score if he can, that makes Allen Houston work a little bit.
2 of 5 from the floor from Deshaun Leonard. Had a big first quarter yesterday and then was silenced. Now here's Childs, the trap. Mashburn. Ewing. No, tipped out of bounds by Patrick Ewing. It'll be Miami ball.
Now, Patrick wants a foul, but that was just great defense by P.J. Brown. He was there, he held his position, and he made Patrick miss the shot. You know, Jeff Van Gundy said the worst thing possible for the Knicks is to have a big lead. And now they have one. He said they relaxed, and you can see it right now at the beginning of this second or third quarter.
This crowd, which had so much to cheer about in the second quarter, is getting a little restless, just a little bit. Underneath the Mourning. He is now 3 of 12, but how about the tip from P.J. Brown?
That's what's keeping them in the game, is their offensive rebounding. Something they were totally concerned about, at least from the New York end, and now they're doing it.
9 rebounds, 4 of them off the offensive glass for P.J. Brown. Childs back to Larry Johnson. Had 9 in the first quarter, quiet since then. Here's Ewing, guarded by Mourning. Muscles his way in and gets 2 more. No surprise that Oakley and P.J. Brown are on the floor.
Just wrestling a little bit. No call.
53-41. Hardaway guarded by Childs. Brown, Deshaun Leonard quickly in the Mourning. Has it.
Oh, that's an easy way to score right there.
Yep. Mourning with 9 points. Lead back at 10 for New York. Larry Johnson. Houston on the baseline. He's held up by Deshaun Leonard, and they're going to call the foul on Deshaun Leonard.
And look at this pass. Now they're fronting. Charles Oakley tries to go for the steal and misses it. And you miss it, you get an easy dunk.
Last foul called on Deshaun Leonard, his second. First of the third quarter.
I think the Knicks now are the team walking it up, slowing it down, and they really got the lead by running, so I'm surprised they didn't continue to do that. Though they have their big lineup on the floor right now.
Ewing, as he makes his move for the basket, he's fouled by P.J. Brown. That's his third.
P.J. Brown and Patrick Ewing have been warring this entire game, this entire series, and that's a foul.
P.J. Brown played those years for the New Jersey Nets and said after the last regular season game, here's another foul called away from the ball.
Tell you what, this game is being called much closer than the other games. And basically all these fouls right now are being called by Allen Houston. They're so concerned about him running off of picks wide open. There's guys trying to help run in the screens, and that's where the fouls are coming.
Last foul on Deshaun Leonard, his third. Lead is 10, 8:50 to go. Third quarter, Houston. Deshaun Leonard got there just long enough to Harrison. And here's Mourning with a rebound. Jamal Mashburn. Ewing comes to help out, and then Johnson with a good defensive job. Ewing was on the line. Whoa! Go back to the point you were talking about how closely they are calling this, because Van Gundy talked with us this evening about how he thought they were letting him get away with it.
Yeah, he said for 3 games now they've let it get away. And he said he would like them to call it a little closer so guys can get out and run a little bit. And now they're doing that. A great example, though, of a no call is Mashburn drives out of control. They didn't bail him out and blow the whistle. They're allowing them to play, but they're calling it closer at the same time.
8:25 to go third quarter. Here's Mashburn again. Backs in on Johnson. Ewing makes a pass that helped.
And what I meant by allowing them to play,
right,
they're not bailing guys out when you go to the basket and you might get hit, but if it's a wild shot, they're not calling that. But they are calling the bangs and the pushes. They want this game to be run and just have a little bit more rhythm to it.
Third foul called on Larry Johnson. Here's Mashburn, looks inside for P.J. Brown.
Example.
Yep. Chris Childs. His third away from the ball. Third team foul.
Yeah, you can see Chris Childs right here. I don't know who the foul is on that one. Chris Childs got it.
8 to go, third quarter. Mashburn, he'll try the other side. Backs in on Johnson, little jump, in and out. Heard some groaning. Still up to the ball. Here's Allen Houston, traveled.
He traveled, he double dribbled, he carried, he did them all.
Filled the chapter.
Yes, he did on that one series.
There goes that paragraph. Well, this has gotten sloppy.
It has, and if you're Pat Riley, you're happy. Because the Knicks aren't scoring, they're going to keep giving the Heat chances to get back in this game, and it's going to get close again.
Oh, my goodness.
See, but Deshaun Leonard has to shoot that. Allen Houston fell on the floor, he had a wide open 3, and he decided to pass.
5-1 turnovers after that one from Deshaun Leonard. Screen set for Ewing, who fights P.J. Brown. Look at that wrestling match. Wow. Here's Houston.
Now, you notice there how Charles Oakley got out?
Right.
That's what Allen Houston wants. He told them, I don't want picks. I can take the guy. You bring your pick, you're bringing another guy. And you can see Charles Oakley, who likes giving picks, got out.
Miami given ample opportunity to climb back in this one. Hardaway finds Mourning with the jumper. Yes.
That's the adjustment. Alonzo Mourning sets the pick. He gets the open shot. He can make it.
The Miami Heat have cut the lead in half. 14 possessions. They've turned it over 5 times, and they are 1 of 4 from the field. Now Childs, Oakley, Ewing, Houston, and Johnson for New York. The margin is 8 in game 4. Ewing wants it. P.J. Brown guards him, plays with 3 fouls. Ewing backs in. Off the mark.
Yeah, I think the Miami Heat is playing with more force right now. And when you talk about this series, we have to talk in force instead of play.
Hardaway, no. Here comes Houston for New York. Right side to Childs. Hardaway picks him up. Johnson with a pick and roll. Rotation out as P.J. Brown comes to contend. And Larry Johnson hits another 3-pointer.
And a big 3-pointer, because that can get him going.
2 3-pointers in the game for Johnson. The first 3-pointers in this series for Larry Johnson. Alonzo Mourning. Throws it up as he's fouled. Foul is on Ewing, and that's his third.
Look at P.J. Brown's defense, but look at Patrick Ewing. Just trying to feel his body. trying to find him. And there you see the shot. P.J. Brown is an excellent defender.
Non-shooting foul, so Miami will inbound. Hardaway, Mourning. Help comes from Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson. That's his fourth.
The tough thing about the Knicks when they have a lead, not for the Knicks, but for the Heat, is that the Knicks are a great defensive team. And though the Knicks aren't scoring any points right now, it's still tough for the other team to score points against them. I love the substitution of bringing John Starks in the game because you know he's going to come with the fourth. And now they're going to go small, taking Larry Johnson out, and they're going to start attacking. I like the move by Jeff Van Gundy right now. It'll be interesting to see how long Pat Riley stays with his lineup.
Johnson sits with 4 fouls, and this rather awful free throw performance by the Miami Heat continues. Alonzo gets 1 of 2, and the lead is back to 10, 56-46. Here's Starks. Huge second quarter. After a tough first 3 offensive games. Oakland over Mourning, in and out. Rebound Hardaway.
That's the shot Miami wants them to take, right there.
Hardaway off the dribble, the switch, Ewing, that leaves P.J. Brown open. Nope, gets another offensive board, puts it up, and will go to the free throw line. Careful.
Both teams showing a little love.
Yeah.
You can see Alonzo and Charles Oakley on this play. First of all, just hard fouling by 2 guards on a big man, making sure he has to shoot free throws. And then you can see Alonzo and Oak getting into it there.
Meanwhile, at the bench, at the scoring table rather, Riley came out to ask what was going on. Personal foul on Starks, that's his third.
And a technical foul on Charles Oakley and P.J. Brown. Alonzo gets away unscathed.
Brown shoots 1 more. 6 offensive boards already tonight for P.J. Brown. Oakley's still chatting about things.
He's chatting with Tim Hardaway, and if he thinks Tim Hardaway, though small in size, is going to go away, he can forget it. He has a huge heart.
In and out. Free throw problem for the Miami Heat. They're 12-22. They missed 10 more tonight. Ewing, foul by Mourning.
And that just burns Pat Riley. You can see the expression on his face right there. He is saying, Alonzo, don't foul him that way. That's not how we want it. If you're going to foul him with force.
Mourning picks up his second foul from the corner. Mourning with a rebound.
Hey, what the Knicks are allowing the Heat to stay close.
Hardaway gets by Oakley. Mourning had to stop and tie his shoelace. 4:35 to go, third quarter. Jamal Mashburn. Houston fronts him. Here's Deshaun Leonard. Tips it back. More bodies are down.
Oh, my. This is becoming ugly right now, Vern. Bodies are everywhere.
It's a little bit like a bowling alley. 3-second violation against Miami.
I mean, look at this, and look at Charles Oakley right there, losing his balance, going to the floor. He spends as much time on his feet as he does on the floor.
Picked up a 7-10 split. 56-47, 4:22 to go.
Yeah, I'm getting the ball to Allen Houston right now. You got Mashburn guarding him. I think he wants to clear out. He does not want that, though.
The trap leaves Ewing open. Underneath. Goaltending.
Hey, the ball was going in anyway. You should go, Tim. Maybe they won't call it.
Back to an 11-point margin, 58-47, 4:05 to go, third quarter.
Look at the position. Yeah, that's a go team. I could have made that one.
Sean Leonard guarded by Starks. Chris Giles picks up another foul, and he's battled with Hardaway. His fourth.
You know the game is ugly when you got two guards posting each other up, playing physical defense, and you're seeing Willie Anderson come back in this game early.
Dan Marley yet to appear in this ball game, and I think your hunch is right. It must be the back.
Yeah, it has to be. There's something wrong. If he's healthy, he's playing. Pat Riley said he's the most important player on our team.
Willie Anderson back in for Vashawn Leonard. There's Marley.
Now, check this out. Now, these are two guards posting up. Now, when you see two guards getting into it, you know you got an ugly game. I like ugly games personally. I love watching them because I think when you have to play in a game where every shot is earned, it's really neat to watch.
Look at the free throw disparity again tonight. It's been a theme of this series, and it continues.
It's amazing. They've shot 25 free throws. The Knicks only have shot 11, yet they only have a two free throw advantage in makes. Not good for the Heat.
Pick and roll with Ewing. Back in the hands of Charlie Ward. Starks. Oh,
great pass. Oh, no.
Another missed layup from Oakley.
Oh, wow.
Hardaway, that one's kicked. Watch Oakley dive for it. Oh, how about that play? How about that play? That would have brought the congregation to prayer.
It would have. And Charles Oakley is everywhere. Oh, my.
How about the ovation for Oakley?
Look at his teammates. Oh, man. This is what you call a role player right here, Vern. Charles Oakley, with effort, getting the basketball. That's playoff basketball.
Just prior to the timeout, seemed to symbolize the effort of this.
I mean,
look at this.
Just look at this. He's the biggest pest in the league. Usually guards are pests. You know, the little guys, the Muggsy Bogues, the Tim Hardaway. But right now, it's Charles Oakley. And Pat Riley called a timeout after that because he has material. That's twice Charles Oakley went to the floor to get the ball, where the Heat only bent down to get the ball. Oakley came up with the ball both times.
B.J. Brown. Another Miami turnover. 13 turnovers for the Heat.
Frustration for the Heat, too, right now, because the Knicks aren't scoring, but they can't crack into the lead.
The table was set for Miami in this third quarter, but they've been unable to take a place.
You know, Pat Riley is thinking, boy, we've lost so many opportunities, and now the Knicks are starting to score some points. Charles Oakley again. Charles Oakley again draws an offensive foul. He's frustrating the Miami Heat right now with his effort. I mean, you can see it right here. He's just frustrating guys. Oh, that's just great.
Third foul on Mourning. Careful. Four fouls on Mourning. And let's check in with Brian Burwell.
Miami bench, and they said that nothing is wrong with Dan Marley. It's a coach's decision, but I'm not so sure. I talked to him before the game today, and he said after 3 operations, he clearly is not 100%. That back is bothering him, but he said it's a long summer, and he can worry about that afterwards. I'll talk to you later.
Nice pep talk, Brian.
Well, here he is. Brian Burwell, coaching now for the Miami Heat, gets Dan Marley in the game.
Look at this Miami bench, Doc.
Yeah, it's tough to win. that's tough to win when you got John Starks with 11 points already by himself off the bench.
New York with 18 points off turnovers tonight. Miami with 4. And it's back to a 14-point margin.
And I think you should make note now, Miami has gone real small. They have 4 guards in the lineup, or 3 guards in Mashburn. And every time a guy makes a turnover right now, they're looking at the other guy saying, you didn't throw me the ball in the right spot. That's called frustration.
14-point margin. Charlie Ward, Ewing, Oakley, Starks, and Houston for New York. This ball picked up by Jamal Mashburn underneath to Marley. Too far underneath. Kicks it back outside for Hardaway. Hardaway, Willie Anderson. Finds Marley, spots up for three.
Oh, boy. That is an unbelievable shot. You sit for basically 3 quarters, and you come in and you make a three. But that's what he does well. So it's nice that was his first shot. Now, he can be the lightning rod for them like John Starks was for the Knicks in the second quarter.
Marley guards Houston. They kick it in the corner to Starks for three. Ewing tips it to himself. Kicks it over. As Charlie Ward comes in the lane, here's Starks off the dribble. Jumper.
Oh, wow. Nice shot. Nice shot. But right now, you can see the effort on the Heat. They're smaller. It seems like every time a team goes to a smaller lineup, that smaller lineup becomes more aggressive.
John Starks in this ball game is 6 of 8 from the field. He was 5 of 24 in the first 3 games. Mashburn with the answer.
Tough shot. See, now Charles Oakley is guarding a quicker guy. He would much rather guard a bigger, stronger guy that he can bang with.
11-point margin. The Heat got it down to 8. Here's Starks in the corner.
Oh, boy.
At the other end, Willie Anderson. No.
Inadvertent whistle.
So it'll be Miami ball. And John Crotty's going to come in the lineup for Miami in just a second. Next dead ball. New York ball, not Miami ball. 66-52.
This is interesting. I like this move by Pat Riley, putting a smaller guy on Allen Houston because he has the quickness. Now, you know Allen Houston can always raise and shoot above him, but he can't get around him with quickness.
Hardaway, look at the concentration. Ewing. Oh. Back to a 16-point margin. That equals the biggest of the game. They started the third quarter with a 16-point lead. They withstood the offensive effort of the Miami Heat, and Charles Oakley's dive for a loose ball seems to summarize things for New York in this third quarter. On 6th Avenue, and the commissioner, David Stern, among those in attendance as we get underway with the fourth. Here's Mashburn for three, no. Oakley with a rebound. 9 rebounds from Oakley. Almost equals the number of times he was on the floor in the third quarter. Houston guarded by Marley. Crotty comes to help. Houston into the hands of Alonzo Mourning. Crotty, Mashburn, Willie Anderson. Oh, beauty! What a nice pass from John Crotty.
What a nice pass and pushing it up. That's what they have to do if they want to score points. Slowing it down is not the answer for the Miami Heat. John Crotty, Tim Hardaway, Mashburn, they have to push it up and create offense, and that's a great example. But again, someone on the Knicks was there, fouling them, making them go to the free throw line.
Is this awful?
It's unbelievable, and the Knicks know it, so they're fouling. Mashburn has a dunk, Charlie Ward fouls. He's already a +1 by that miss.
Well, they came in hitting 68% from the free throw line as a team. Tonight, they're 13 of 27.
Yeah, they're at the point now, if they make 1 for 2, the bench collapses.
15-point margin. Ward, nice spin move. Had to adjust as Mourning got there to help. Starks. Marley chases down the loose ball. Gets it to Crotty. Back to Mashburn. Anderson waits on the right side. Allen Houston got him a passing lane. Here come the Knicks. Buck Williams. Mourning will rest for a moment. And Buck Williams, at 37 years of age, will knock home a jumper.
Yeah, he can make that. That's a lot better for him. Somebody's in front of him, he can make those shots. It's the free throw line that bothers Buck.
17-point lead, largest lead of the night. Marley.
And I really believe Dan Marley is playing on guts right now. And that's the type of guy he is. I guarantee you it was something wrong, back or something, and he told Pat Riley to let me try it. And Riley's allowing him, and he's paying dividends for him because he has a big heart.
Dan Marley missed half the season after back surgery in January. Got back for the last 10 regular season games and has played in each of the playoff games thus far, the 5 against Orlando and now the 4 against New York.
Yeah, because I just can't believe that's the coach's decision. I know that's what they told us. I can't buy that.
Marley reverses the trend and gets 2 free throws. Hardaway on the bench. 15-point margin, 10:25 to go in the ball game. Game 5 from Miami on Wednesday night. Ward with the entry pass. Nice defensive job by Mashburn.
The Knicks are giving the Heat so many opportunities to get back in this basketball game.
Loose ball underneath. Crotty kicks it back outside. But there was Charlie Ward, and the foul is called on Willie Anderson.
And probably a smart foul because the Knicks had numbers.
Charlie Ward, particularly, I thought, down in Miami, had a couple of terrific runs. Game 1, look at that.
And earlier tonight, in the second quarter, when Charlie Ward came in, is when they made their run. He does a good job of finding the scores.
Allen Houston was among them. Hello. Oh, wow.
You like that, though.
Yeah.
You like seeing anybody going trying to dunk on Alonzo Mourning.
Here's Mourning. Foul on Buck Williams. 9:38 remaining in regulation play. The Knicks trying to go up 3-1 and enjoy a 15-point lead.
The Knicks have burned them in that. But they haven't. They've been going from the outside. So it's a completely opposite game, and both coaches won it, and the Knicks are still winning.
Tim Hardaway with 12 points tonight, well below his series average at 34 in the 1 Miami victory. I think he's showing fatigue.
Well, I think of all the guys with back-to-back, I thought he would be the guy affected the most because he had to do so much yesterday.
Willie Anderson, oh, nice play.
Play basketball. He was sensational, had a lot of injuries over his last 3 or 4 years, and this is the first year he's been healthy the entire year in about 4 years.
Starks.
We should welcome John Starks to the playoffs because he is here now.
Yeah.
It's the second series.
8 of 11 tonight for John Starks. 5 of 24 in the first 3 games. Alonzo Mourning. Crotty for 3. Yes.
Really surprised that the Knicks decided to double team. I think you double team when it's a tie score. When you're up 15, you make Alonzo beat you over Patrick Ewing.
It was a 16-point margin at the half. Miami got to within 8. Then New York came back to lead by 16 at the end of 3. Here's Starks looking for Ewing. Mourning looking at Ewing. Ewing going over Mourning. Loose ball, New York. Childs.
Now the Knicks have 2 point guards there.
Here's Marley. Ward, Childs, and Starks join Buck Williams and Patrick Ewing. Offensive foul on Willie Anderson.
Oh, wow.
My.
Bob Delaney saw something I didn't see there.
Guess Willie hasn't played in a while.
Yes.
No respect.
What he's calling, and they do call this, if you try to knock the guy's arm off, you can watch Willie's arm right here trying to knock it off, and that's what the offensive foul was called on. But the fact that John Stark had his arm on him is a foul also. So that's a tough call for Willie.
Now, do you think Pat Riley just accepted Bob Delaney's explanation?
No.
Another one. 20 points for Starks. The lead 14. Crotty to Mourning. Foul is called.
And they're not going to give Alonzo anything. They're going to make him earn every shot. If he has a sure shot, they're following him, and they're saying, you make the free throws.
Foul is on Ewing.
Now look at the lineup Miami has right now. They have 2 point guards, Crotty and Hardaway, a 2-guard Willie Anderson, a 2-guard or 3 Dan Marley in the center. They're going real small.
Well, if 2 things could symbolize this series, I would say Charles Oakley diving for a loose ball for New York and Alonzo Mourning with an air ball from the free throw line for Miami.
You talk about the mind. I mean, Alonzo Mourning can shoot. It's completely mental. Nice comeback.
Yes.
I was on the free throw line in the series. I remember, and I shot back-to-back air balls. So he's stronger-willed than me, I'll tell you that.
Crotty and Childs get into each other. Double technical foul called on Childs and Crotty.
Little guys are getting into it. Big guys are getting into it. And this is when it happens. In about the 4th game, it's just like when you practice in training camp and you get tired of practicing against each other. These 2 teams are now tired of playing against each other. So now they're getting irritated by each other.
Well, that happened right in front of us. I must say, I think Crotty was the instigator.
Yes. They can let me shoot, or they can play one-on-one against 3 of the 50 greatest players that play the game. Pick the poison.
Maloney with a wonderful game yesterday, 26 points. Here's Ewing, 4 and a couple more.
Yeah, every point is difficult for the Heat now because scoring 15 points more in the rest of this game will be tough.
Here's Hardaway for 3. Rebound, Chris Childs, foul on Crotty. And let's check in with Brian Burwell.
Well, Vernon, in the Knicks huddle, Jeff Van Gundy was saying that let's go down low against Alonzo Mourning. He has 4 fouls on him. They want to get him out of the game. So look for Patrick Ewing to see a lot of touches. Back to you.
Thanks, Brian. See those 13 points? He has not attempted a shot in the last 12 minutes. Here's Starks, Childs, Allen Houston, and Ewing.
And Alonzo's going to get a foul here if he doesn't watch out.
Riley is saying get back.
Yes, he wanted him to get back. John Crotty comes in to help.
Crotty gets the steal. 6:35 to go. Game 4. Entry pass to Alonzo Mourning. There's his first shot in 12 minutes.
When Tim Hardaway is tired and Alonzo Mourning's not taking shots, it's tough for your team to win.
Houston traveled.
Tell you what, Willie Anderson is giving Allen Houston fits. The one thing they found out in this game is that they have found someone who can guard Allen Houston. He's long, he's tall, and he's quick, and he's exactly the body build of an Allen Houston.
6:15 to go in regulation. Well, Tim Hardaway showing, particularly in the 3rd quarter, getting a rest now. 15-point margin, Hardaway and Childs. Alonzo Mourning, moving screen, and gimpy knee. How many times have we seen this foul?
Yeah, he gets away with it because they called it on Chris Childs.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. But then he gets the knee, so he doesn't get the foul, but he gets the knee and the kneecap. I don't know which is worse because that hurts.
5 fouls on Chris Childs.
Well, the one thing that doesn't matter is fouls on point guards with the Knicks because they have ample point guards. You got Scotty Brooks sitting on the bench with Charlie Ward, and John Starks can also play point guard. They have a ton of point guards.
Mourning still limping as he comes back down court.
You know, the Knicks still have not put the Heat away, and I think they've had their opportunity.
Johnson, guarded by Marley. Childs for three. Willie Anderson with a rebound. 5:40 to go, regulation. Here's Mourning. Can't get the roll.
Boy, I tell you, they've had so many opportunities to get back in this basketball game.
Alonzo Mourning, 5 of 16 shooting tonight. Now he gets called for the foul. That's his fifth.
And they're going to go right at him. They're going to go at him all game. He's an aggressive player. He's physical, and so is Patrick Ewing, and they're going to give him a foul, and that's his fifth.
Pat Riley keeps Mourning on the floor. Now Jamal Mashburn getting ready to come back in. Johnson posting up Marley. Back to 15. Larry Johnson has 14 points. 5 minutes to go in regulation. Mourning just fouled out.
There it is. And you know what? The refs knew that they gave him a break the last time, and he does it again. He follows it up with the exact same pick, and you knew they were going to call it. In most cases, a ref would never foul out a superstar with a pick, but he got away with it the play before. You have to call it this time, and he does it. Late.
Somebody named Spike Lee leads the band out on the road in the playoffs.
That's a great example. Regular season, playoffs, two different styles of basketball.
Double team. Willie Anderson comes for Johnson. Houston tips it away and out of bounds. It's turnover New York.
He was passing and catching at the same time. He saw John Starks wide open. He was trying to get him the ball.
Alonzo Mourning with the moving screen, 6th foul, 13 points on 5 of 16 from the field and 3 of 8 from the free throw line.
And look at the lineup that he have in right now. You think they're not going to be driving and kicking? They have 5 guards.
5 guards. 5 guards. We can get away with calling Mashburn a guard, right?
Yes. The question is, how are they going to get a rebound? All Patrick has to do is hold his arms up.
Houston. Foul on Hardaway or Mourning as Houston is taken down.
And the fans are up because they don't like it.
Hardaway, his second.
And that one hurt because it's not always how hard you fall, it's how awkward you fall. And that was an awkward fall right there.
And now they've changed it and given it to Mashburn. .80-63, 4:10 to go in regulation.
Such a contrast when the Knicks get up to the foul line. You know, they just get up there and make them both.
Knock them home. 4 minutes to go. Here's Hardaway. Ewing. Jump ball. And Hardaway in frustration has it come up right in Ewing's chin.
And you know, Patrick Ewing is steaming right now. He's not showing it because it was an accident. You can see right here, they just get tangled up right here. But watch at the end of this. Oh my.
At the other end, Starks. Foul by Willie Anderson. Now watch the end of that last play where Ewing got it right in the jaw.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
And you know that burns you. That burns you when you get hit in the face at any time. Tim Hardaway, we must say, said he was sorry right away. Knew it was a mistake.
John Starks at the free throw line.
And I think Pat Riley has thrown in the towel, taking Tim Hardaway out.
Starks with 21 points.
First time he smiled this series.
One more. Ultimately.
Boy.
after all.
Took too much time.
Crotty, Ike Austin, Jamal Mashburn, Willie Anderson, and Marley on the floor for Miami. Anderson for three. That'll be Miami ball. New York on the verge of going up 3-1. Game 5 in Miami on Wednesday. Here's Marley from the corner for three.
Got to question him not being in the game. Didn't shoot him that way. And John Crotty and Chris Childs are still just going at it.
That one's called on Crotty. That's his third. Game 5 coming up Wednesday night at Miami on TNT. Game 6, if necessary, back here on Friday. And then Game 7 at Miami on NBC. That game, if necessary, the time will be announced a little later on. Here's Childs at the free throw line.
I think it should be noted, Vern, that there's 3 games left, possibly one. 2 of them can be at Miami.
Right.
So though they're down 3-1, they have to go to Miami, win in Miami, and then come here and win. And then they have Game 7 in Miami. So out of the 3 games left, 2 of them are in Miami. They still, though they've lost 1 at home, they still have somewhat of an advantage. Having said all that, though, you did think tonight was a critical game. I thought it was a swing game for both teams. 3-1 is tough anyway. To win 3 games anywhere is tough. And now Miami has to do it against a veteran basketball team.
Allen Houston looks for Ewing. Ike Austin with the defensive work. We near the 3-minute mark. 16-point margin. Back to Childs. Starts. Kicks it on the left side. Put back is good. 84-66. Anderson. And here's Allen Houston for New York. Starks. Pick and roll with Larry Johnson. 2:25 to go in regulation. Here's Chris Childs. This one's officially over. The Gretzky family has left.
He's going to rest for Lindros.
20 points. Here's Crotty for 3. Walter McCarty getting ready to come on for Jeff Van Gundy.
And that's their singing version. He also has sang a national anthem.
.154 to go. Scotty Brooks is coming on. First time in the playoffs. John Wallace is coming on. First time in this series. At the next dead ball. Austin. Ewing. Swats at it. Chris Childs with the turnover. Larry Johnson is fouled and will go to the free throw line. 2. Lakers and Jazz Game 5 from the Delta Center in Salt Lake. As soon as we're through with this one. One of 2 for Larry Johnson. Well, Miami with a playoff low of 73 points yesterday. They need to hustle if they're going to break their own mark.
And everyone's talked about the Miami Heat's defense. I think we should start making more or paying more attention to New York because they've done a nice job defending Miami.
Mashburn gets him to 71.
I thought they effectively took Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning out of the game today, and they chose who they wanted to beat them. The Knicks did, and it was the other guys, and the other guys couldn't do it for Miami.
Scotty Brooks in his 9th year in the league, probably his last. Underneath, Walter McCarty.
Wow. Isn't that nice to have him as your 12th man?
89-71, final 45. Crotty finds Marley, who finds Willie Anderson, and then Marley again for 3. Well, that makes the point total 74. Not in the books. Out of bounds, Miami ball. Pat Riley paying such great respect to Ewing, Starks, and Oakley, the core of the team when he was the coach here. Look how they have responded tonight. Now, those 6 points and 9 rebounds don't begin to tell the story of Charles Oakley's contribution.
No, because though Starks and Ewing have more points and had a flashier game, the player of the game tonight was Charles Oakley. The play of the game was that dive on the floor.
This one's over. The New York Knicks go up 3-1. Pat Riley's homecoming to New York, unsuccessful back-to-back games. And let's check in with Brian Burwell.